Increase your mileage? I can't even believe I'm making a video about this. If you'd have known me 10 years ago, you'd have said, there's no way that guy's gonna be running the 70, 80, 90 mile weeks. Another YouTube video. Alright, here we go. Alright, you guys, here talking to you about increasing those weekly mileages. I got a ton of Instagram comments asking me how I'm putting these back-to-back long days in, how I am hammering out some of these longer weeks, how to do it, but how to do it safely, and how you can get yourself up to those 50, 60, 70, 80, even 90 plus mile weeks. We are gonna jump into really 4 main aspects that we're talking about. 1, we're gonna be talking about patience. 2, we are gonna be talking about low heart rate. 3, we're gonna be talking about 2-a-days. 4, strength training. Excuse me, apparently my Michelob Ultra decided it wanted to come have a little belch in the middle of this. Superior light beer. I'd agree. Okay, diving right into it, we are going to talk about what I believe is 4 of the key elements of this. Number 1, time and patience. A lot of people were saying, dang, you're really putting in these double things. And for you to be able to achieve this, you have to be patient. A lot of times people are trying to jump right in, do this quickly, and really try to go from beginning of their marathon training, ramping all the way up to 50, 60, 70 miles a week. It will get you hurt. So, to give you some background on some of the things that I have done, but also what I've had my other athletes do in order to do it. First and foremost is we want to talk about how we ramp up. And what that is you don't want to increase your mileage a lot more than 10% if you haven't done that. One of the things that I've done with athletes and how we've helped them ramp up and get them to that higher mileage is you got to do it in steps. You don't go from 0 to 100 really fast. Get your base training in. Be patient. Develop those muscles early. Start with your 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 mile weeks. And then once you get into that, then we can start really ramping it up. If we were to look at the trajectory that I took, which a lot of people have asked on Instagram, how we got to these 70, 80 mile weeks, 90 mile weeks without having issues, double long run weekends, is we have to go all the way back to college. Look at this picture. You kidding me? I look like such a grom. But we are talking about 2008 when I graduated and I was running track and I was putting in maybe, I don't know, 15, 25 miles a week. I was an 800 runner, so I wasn't running the long mileage. Then fast forward to my first half marathon, which was a couple years later. I was maybe doing 25, 35 miles. And then we built in, I did a bunch of triathlons over time, so I had this huge base with cycling, several years of Ironman, so that was another big part of it. Cross training, key. And then as far as the weekly mileage of running, we are going to talk about where that really ramp up came. So in 2016, I decided I am going to focus on running, and that is what I'm going to focus on for a little bit. So in 2016, I was averaging about 50 to 55 miles a week, and that was when I hit my first sub 3-hour marathon. 2017 to 2018, I was about 55 to 60, 63 miles a week at my peak. Not every week, at my peak. That's the amount that we were running. Then fast forward to 2019, I was 60 to 65 at my peak. Most of my weeks were below 50, but the high mileage weeks were there. And so you have to see this trajectory of 2008, we were at 25 miles a week, all the way to 2019, we were at 60 to 65 miles a week. So that is a long time frame. I am not saying that that is how you need to do it, but you can't just go from 10, 15, 20 mile weeks building all the way up to 60. You have to do that over a duration period of time, and that's why they have that 10% rule for you to be able to build it. Number two, and what I believe is the most important, is you have to do your easy runs easy. Let me repeat. You have to do your easy runs easy. Why is that? A lot of conversations of how I have helped people and how people have gotten themselves to getting to that next level is they've taken their easy runs easy. So many times people are doing their easy runs and their heart rates are in the upper 160s, 170s sometimes, or even 150s. That is not how you increase mileage, and that is not how you're able to do it and stay healthy. Let us take a blank slate, and how do you incorporate this? Number one way that I believe to follow this is with math tone. I am not going to get into it. It is 180 minus your age plus or minus 5 based upon a whole multitude of factors. But if you look at where the duration of people who have an increased mileage, or you look at the pros who are doing huge mileage, 120 plus weeks, they're doing a lot of runs easy. One pro put it this way. He goes, we learned to run easy from the Kenyans, and the Kenyans run painfully slow on their easy runs. If the pros are running painfully slow, that's a direct indication that this is important for your easy runs to knock that out. So make sure as you're doing these slow runs, slow easy runs, you are keeping them slow and you're focusing on heart rate, not pace. Number three is 2 runs a day. 2 a days, however you want to call it, whatever it is getting 1 run in the morning, 1 run in the evening. Now I'm not talking backing up your morning 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mile run with another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mile runs. We're talking 2 times a week getting an additional 3 miles in, 2 times a week getting an additional 4 miles a weekend. Whatever that is, these are easy runs, and if you look at what a lot of people do to incorporate these, is they're doing it with their dog on a walk, or they're doing it where they're going for a jog or a run or something with their significant other in order to incorporate these. So this is a quick key aspect of doing it, but again, we are going to focus. These are easy runs. Last, strength training. As the miles increase, your running muscles continue to get stronger and develop more. What this doesn't account for is the weakening of your glutes, of your hips, of your core. In order to be able to increase these miles, you have to be able to strengthen that core. To be able to run higher mileage, you have to have a strong core, hips, and glutes. And that is an extremely important aspect to this, because if you don't strengthen those muscles, you're not going to be able to increase those mileage. In conclusion, what we are talking about is to help you and how you personally can get to higher mileage in the week, whether higher mileage is 30 miles, whether higher mileage is 40 miles, or whether higher mileage is 80 miles a week. It doesn't matter. If this is for you to be able to increase it, these are your 4 tips. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you hit subscribe below. Really look forward to hearing how these tips worked and helped you guys increase your mileage. Take care, have a great training, and enjoy the rest of your week.